What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Man, Winning Time Season 1, I loved every bit of it. This was some of the best TV I've watched as far as a TV show that I didn't know was going to be good or not, but I just knew when I saw the actor that played MagicJohnson looked just like MagicJohnson, and I was like, yeah. Then the guy who played Kareem looked just like Kareem. So we had something there. And then we had John C. Reilly as Jerry West, and I was kind of like, okay, this might be campy. This might, because, you know, with John C. Reilly, he's always playing comedic roles. You know, it's not really too much dramatic flair. But in this, you could tell that he was with the dramatic flair. Like, you know, he played that head honcho Jerry West, and it was kind of like a Jerry West story in the beginning, but it just evolved into the LA Lakers of 1980. And I loved every bit of every episode. And shout out to Wood Harris playing Spencer Haywood, and just seeing the demons that Spencer was going through. I didn't think something like that was happening, but it did. And I love this coming of age story of the LA Lakers, because I seen people in the comments were saying, oh, well, you know, it's the rise of a dynasty. And it was like, well, they were winning championships before. I said, yeah, but it was 8 years, almost a decade since they was really in that fold. So it was just the rise of what we know now as the Showtime LA Lakers, and they brought the Lakers back to prominence. And I can't wait for season 2, because they have to have a season 2, because we saw when Jerry West became the owner of the Lakers, and how he did it, which was over like that balloon loan, and basically did some shady things to own the Lakers, but it paid off in the end. You know what I'm saying? And even with Sally Richardson Fields just really playing his mom, who just finagled, knew how to work the system to get that loan and make sure that he was on top, but he had to deliver. That was one thing he had to do. So it was a lot for me to understand, because this is way before my time, and understanding what they all went through, you know, from the Bird and Magic from college, you know, from Indiana and then Michigan State. That rivalry was always there. This is going to be so explosive, so explosive. And you just seen how MagicJohnson was just that womanizer. He's been a womanizer, always been a womanizer. Cookie's always been around, but MagicJohnson smashing everything left and right. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell he still balled out. Like he was MagicJohnson when he came to play. And he didn't miss nothing. So energetic. You could tell Kareem and him standoffish when they got in that fight. Like, he was this happy-go-lucky kid, smiling all the damn time, and really, but he really has skills. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell nobody really appreciated him when he got to the Lakers. You're like, oh, you're just another rookie. But just not knowing, he really changed the trajectory of basketball, period. And that's something unfolding to all of us. I think MagicJohnson didn't like it, how he was portrayed. Same thing with Kareem. But at the same time, it's showing their prowess of they built a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? They were the ones who built the dynasty, and everything that was coming unfolding with all of that. With Jack McKinney becoming the head coach, and then he got into that bike accident. Then the assistant head coach, I forget his name. It's just off the top of my head. But shout out to old boy who plays him, because usually he plays a lot of comedic roles too, but just unsure of himself as a coach. You know, when Jack went down, you know, just a Shakespearean teacher. So it was, people weren't buying in, you know, and then he finally got into talk to Pat Reilly, which I think Adrian Brody playing Pat Reilly that's also a coming of age story too, because I know my Lakers, because Lakers is my favorite team, as the infamous Pat Reilly with the slick hair back, suit on. You know, that was the Lakers to me. So seeing the evolution of all of them is something to behold. And it was so captivating, so entertaining, because of the things that they were getting into from 79 to 1980. Now, the things that I didn't realize and didn't know was for MagicJohnson to become a rookie and win a championship as a rookie, and carried the team when Kareem went down. I was about to say Cap. That's you know what I'm saying? But Kareem, you know, was so set on, you know, just his hook shot and just biding his time. Just like he said in the season finale, he said, I'm just biding my time, getting my paycheck, then I'm going to leave. But Magic Johnson came with that flair, that tenacity, that speed. Like he just was up and down the court running all day. He a big man running up and down the court. Like never seen a 6'9" point guard like Magic Johnson, just doing the backwards pass, the no-look passes, the down. I'm like, just bedazzling, and how Jerry West formed the Lakers into that Showtime, and then how just he made the Lake Show. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to be a fan of the Lake Show because you seen Jack Nicholson early. And he was like, man, how Jack Nicholson really became a staple of the Lakers. Or he was like, man, I had to bribe Jack Nicholson to come to say hey to the bankers and stuff like that. And he was like, man, he wanted comp season tickets because Jack Nicholson is a staple of the Lakers. And that was the flair that Jerry West saw, the vision, and just basically saying, we're going to create entertainment for basketball. You seen the cheerleaders, and then he was like, no, we're changing that. We're going to have dancers. And I was like, dang, this man was a true visionary. He was such a playboy, always with different women. You know what I'm saying? So he knew what people basically liked. And shout out to like I said, John C. Reilly playing Jerry West, and shout out to old girl as Jeannie, because Jeannie saw a lot at her age, with, that episode when Jerry West was fingering that girl on the table and Jeannie saw it. She's been traumatized by that. You can tell. And she just had to grow up real fast around her dad. And it's just, the way that he was and how he was, but she loved her dad to the bone, because although he is the way he is, he's also a brilliant man. You know what I'm saying? So I just see, shout out to Jeannie, because Jeannie really is the Lakers, is none other. Jeannie always been the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Jeannie was the one to say, hey, Dad, if you got the first pick and he asks, who would you pick? I'll go with Magic Johnson, because Boston was really after Larry Bird. Now, with Red Auerbach and Boston, everybody knows it, and I'm glad they explored it on what Boston was. That racist town. They love Larry Bird. He's a white guy. That's who they love, although he don't talk to the media. He's an asshole, all types of things, but they still love Larry Bird. And for the life of Magic Johnson, he couldn't understand why. Well, basically, he was like, well, I know why. So it was just that rivalry was always there. So for them to have that Lakers-Celtics rivalry, I'm seeing how it got started. And I'm just like, that was like the rivalry of the 80s. No other... it was the Boston Red Sox and the Yankees, and it was the Lakers and the Celtics because of Bird and Magic. That, man, I can't wait till we get into that. What I didn't realize was with Dr. J, I was kind of upset with the casting of Dr. J, because I don't think Dr. J was that big. He just looked like, but he was at the end of his career, when he played Magic Johnson in the finals. But like I said, I love this because everything of their personal life that we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Although it could be, some of it's made up, but most of it you could tell a lot was really going on around that time. And I loved every bit of it. I gave this show a 10 out of 10 because every week, every Sunday, I was like, I got to watch Winning Time. I have to watch Winning Time because it's so captivating. I feel like with Kareem, Magic, Jerry West, even with Jerry West, I was telling myself, I'm like, that to me looks like, I'm like, Jerry West is probably that foul mouth. I just don't know. I don't know about them. I don't know about this. And he had to really get his mind right to become that front office guy for the Lakers. And just, he's also embodied with the Lakers. So that winning formula was just all coming to a head. And like I said, when Jack McKinney got there, he sped up the game. And that's why he said he finally got his shot to speed up the game. And that's what he did. And like I said, that bike accident sidelined him. So everybody else had to step up. But it really worked. It worked. And then you seen Kareem finally buy in. And they were winning games. They were winning games because even Kareem started believing, like, dang, this is something different. This is something new. They're winning games. And when Kareem had went down, I just loved the season finale because Jack McKinney gave, oh boy, the notes. And even with Kareem telling Magic, man, you need to be starting center. So I've never seen that before. You know what I'm saying? Where I feel like LeBron was the only person other than Magic Johnson to play almost every position on the court and really balled out. He was just a natural baller, just natural talent. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it sucks for Spencer Haywood to really go down because of them drugs, you know, really took a hold of him. 2 more games and he could have been an NBA championship, but I can't wait for them to show they gave him a ring afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So, because I really had to go back and do my research and be like, man, after this episode's over, I'm one of them people, I got to watch it afterwards. So, I was telling myself, I'm like, for Spencer Haywood to shake back after what he was doing and then eventually get back on the team, didn't retire, but they still gave him his 1980 championship ring, and he's still classified as on that 1980s championship team. You know what I'm saying? Because he was such a big part of that, although, you know, he didn't really go through the last 2 games of the season in the finals, but he still contributed a lot to that team. I can't wait for season 2. I really can't. I really can't wait. You seen when Bird saw, because that rivalry was so strong because Magic Johnson really hates Larry Bird because he understands what Larry was. But Larry was good. Larry was freaking good. Larry Bird is all-time top 10 basketball player ever. You know what I'm saying? And you saw when Magic was pissed because Larry got the Rookie of the Year. But in turn, Larry Bird was pissed because he's in the championship and Larry's not. So you saw as soon as he won the championship, Larry outside, he's shooting. He's shooting like, man, nah. I need to be there. And that was Larry's legacy. Like, I need to be in that spot. In order to be the best, you got to be in that spot. And that was something Jerry West understood when he saw Red Auerbach. Was like, oh, yeah, you know, you're exec of the year, you know, coach of the year and Triple Crown. He's like, man, yeah, y'all winning every award that don't matter. Because nobody's going to remember all that. People are going to remember championships. And Jerry West understood that. So for him as his rookie owner, he became champion, and just as a rookie basketball player, and I just love the locker room with just them two in the locker room. It's like, man, it's pretty quiet. You know, it's like, well, that's you know, that's how it is. And they're both just sitting back like we never won before, so this is what it feels like. And Magic was like, so what's next? Jerry West was like, man, do it again, win again. Like, why not? And that spawned the Lake Show. That spawned Kobe Bryant and Shaq. That spawned those championships. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I really can't wait for season 2. I can't say that enough because I really enjoyed this show. So, you guys enjoyed my review of Winning Time, the rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Subscribe to my channel, post a comment down below, and like the video. It's your boy, D. Dyson. Peace.